May 7th, we are 2 days away from UFC 328. In this video, I'm breaking down every single fight. I'm giving you guys my lock of the week. I'm giving you guys some solid underdogs because there is multiple fucking fights on this card. Insane that they're even underdogs. From the prelim all the way up to the main card, you feel what I'm saying? This is a very exciting card, so stay tuned. And we're not even going to waste time. Let's get right into it. I know I've been gone for a long time, so I hope everybody's been doing well. And let's get this fucking money, man. First fight of the night, we got Jose Achua versus Clayton Carpenter. You might see me look down a few times, bro. I'm just trying to go off the top with it. I'm not really trying to look at the paper too much, but two young fighters. They're both 8-2. Clayton Carpenter is currently 0-2 in the UFC, though. They both have faced very good, decent level opponents, you know what I mean? Clayton Carpenter opened up facing Tagir Ulanbekov in a mostly grappling matchup where he lost that. And then he faced Jafel Filo, lost in the first round. And I don't know how high I am on Clayton Carpenter, considering you're supposed to be like this accoladed guy on the ground, whatever. And you just get subbed by Jafel Filo in round one. Meanwhile, he can't even take down Cody Durden. He couldn't even take down Cody Durden to save his fucking life. So that's not really a good look. See, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I'm wrong about the Cody Durden in the Filo fight. I think he was taking Cody Durden down. He just couldn't keep him down. Because Cody Durden is a fucking dog. He is a literal fucking dog. Like, respect to Cody Durden. No fucking bullshit. Jose Achua on the other side. He could be 2-0 in the UFC. He won his first fight, knocked out Cody Durden in the second round. Who does that to Cody Durden, right? And then he lost to that Asu Almabayev guy. And he landed more significant strikes. He landed more total strikes. It was just the 7 takedowns that he couldn't defend. But he could be 2-0 in the UFC depending on how you score fights. You know what I mean? So we got one guy that's 0-2 in the UFC, and then we got one guy that's could be 2-0 in the UFC. And on the feet, I feel like Jose Achua is gonna he's gonna have his way. He's gonna have his way. Another thing to keep in mind, Clayton Carpenter, he wants to fight on the ground, but he got one single takedown in his 2 UFC fights. I mean, so yeah, I'm taking Jose Achua to win the very first fight of the night. One thing I'm going to say about this DeJordan Santos versus Sirkaev fight, there's no fucking doubt in my mind that DeJordan Santos is the more tougher guy. He is the more durable guy. He just doesn't have the bag of tricks that Sirkaev has. You know what I mean? Doesn't have the hype behind his name. You know what I mean? He's not an EVOV. You feel what I'm saying? He's just DeJordan Santos. You know what I mean? He's kind of slow on the feet. But he's a dog, and he'll get with it. He will make it a dog fight if he has to. And we've seen Sirkaev hurt.
Big connection on the road by the American. Oh, the big knee from the...
I'm going to have pictures up on the screen somewhere showing what I'm talking about, but DeJordan Santos is a dog. Let's just keep that in mind before we bet on a fucking -800. What I'm looking at in this fight, the over 1.5 should be pretty free. You know what I mean? I think DeJordan Santos is going to be there for mostly every single round. You know what I mean? And, yeah. That's really the breakdown I got for this fight. I think Sirkaev wins, but I think the over 1.5 is definitely how you make money in this fight. Pat Sabatini versus William Gomis. This right here is a complete striker versus grappler matchup. Very classic, right? I'll be taking Pat Sabatini to win this fight, and here's why. If you look at his last few opponents, Marauders, high pressure. Chepe Mariscal, high pressure. Fucking that Brito guy, high pressure. I know William Gomis beat him too, but there's a level of competition that he's beating and a style of competition that he's beating that William Gomis does not pose. You know what I mean? William Gomis fights on the back foot. He likes to point fight. He likes to use the footwork. He's a pretty He's a pretty he's a pretty smart fighter. For real, he's a pretty smart fighter. He does a lot of things well. He does everything pretty well. You know what I mean? He's an all-around fighter. But he's a lot on the back foot. You know what I mean? And Pat Sabatini, it might be a little harder to track down William Gomis, considering he's not coming forward like Chepe with all that pressure, all that pace. You know what I mean? But there's a lot less danger when you put it that way. You know what I mean? There's a lot less danger compared to someone like Chepe. So I think Pat Sabatini is going to get in range for these takedowns, take William Gomis down, and when it gets to the ground, I think he's going to hold him there, rack up a lot of control time, and he's going to win a pretty boring decision. I think the threat of the takedowns is going to make William Gomis very hesitant. And one thing that we should keep in mind is that the level of competition is crazy different. This guy just fought fucking Ruchala and bro just fought Chepe. You know what I mean? And then Pat Sabatini's on a 4-fight win streak. Last time Pat Sabatini lost was to Diego Lopes, and obviously he got knocked out. It's the level of competition that you got to recognize in this fight, and the grappling. You know what I mean? The grappling's everything, the control time. What he did to Chepe Mariscal, it just makes me feel way more confident in this fight that he can do the same thing to William Gomis once he tracks him down. Give me Pat Sabatini. Boy just woke up from a nap, but we're finna break down his Roman Kopylov Marco Tulio fight. And I just watched a little bit of tape on both of them, and realistically, this is going to be a pretty good fight. But I think this one should be pretty straightforward. Roman Kopylov is an underdog, but I think he's going to win this fight. And there's a lot of things just adding up for Roman Kopylov in this fight. Just hear me out, because I know a lot of people are probably taking Marco Tulio. But for one, level of competition. You know what I mean? Roman Kopylov has been in the UFC way longer than Marco Tulio. He's fought way better level of competition. He's shown that, yes, he has lost a few matches in a row. You know what I mean? He's on a 2-fight losing streak. But he can be a nail, and he can be a tough nail. He's never been knocked out. Marco Tulio, on the other hand, he just got knocked out, and he's proven that. Once you give him that step up in competition, he wilts. You know what I mean? He just got finished by Christian Leroy Duncan, and that was the worst performance of his life. He got knocked out, you know what I mean? Like Roman Kopylov, on the other hand, he's on a 2-fight losing streak to Paulo Costa and RoboCop, and they would finish Marco Tulio. They would finish Marco Tulio. And Roman Kopylov started coming forward late in the rounds against Paulo Costa. And I just feel like if he can up the ante, if he can up the pace earlier in the rounds, he can definitely win this fight. Marco Tulio isn't someone that has like this. I mean, Marco Tulio is very explosive. He's a shooter box fighter. He comes forward, blast, heavy body kicks, calf kicks and shit. But Roman Kopylov does the same thing. You know what I mean? He's just a little more patient on the feet. You feel like if he can up the volume a little bit. And the thing about Roman Kopylov, specifically in this fight, if you're Marco Tulio and you're hitting someone with all your best shots and he's not wilting, that's going to be a big factor mentally for Marco Tulio. How is he going to respond when Roman Kopylov keeps coming forward and he's not wilting? And we just don't know mentally where Marco Tulio is. He just got his ass beat by Christian Leroy, and that was bad.
Got him.
Spinning back fist got him that time.
He's still wobbling for it, but
Tulio!
Roman Kopylov, he's fought a high level of competition. He hurt Anthony Hernandez, Fluffy Hernandez, before he got subbed. Hurt him to the body, I'm pretty sure, in that fight. Looked decent against Paulo Costa later in the rounds. He beat Cesar Almeida, Nelly Soriano, Chris Curtis, you know what I mean? A whole bunch of relative wins, you know what I mean? Compared to Marco Tulio. Who have you beat? What have you done? Like, you're a good fighter and stuff. You have good kickboxing. You have good pace and stuff. But I think Roman Kopylov has exactly what it takes to win this fight. And he's on a 2-fight losing streak, so he needs this win. Give me Roman Kopylov to just blast body kicks. And I think eventually Marco Tulio will wilt. I think Roman Kopylov can find a finish in this fight. Usually you want to slow Roman Kopylov down with some grappling and shit. Earlier in his career, he started off 0-2, and then he put together a win streak, and now he's back on a 2-fight losing streak, so he's kind of inconsistent, but still, give me Roman Kopylov with the experience and the toughness to win this fight. We got Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. Obviously, we all know who Jim Miller is. He has the most UFC wins, the most UFC fights. He's tough as fuck. He's durable. He hasn't been finished since 2016. The last time he was knocked out was to Dan Hooker, 2016. His last decision win was a while ago. Like, he's coming to finish you. I looked at his shit and I was like, what the fuck? Like, Jim Miller's actually like that. I didn't really realize. It's just KO sub, KO sub, KO sub, and if he loses, decision loss, decision loss, decision loss. So, for real. But he's old as fuck now. That's the thing, 42 years old. And he's facing Jared Gordon in this matchup. I don't think Jared Gordon is going to be able to out-grapple Jim Miller. I think on the feet, he has a path to victory. You know what I mean? Just stay clean. Jim Miller is old as fuck. You know, and, let me see. Like, Jared Gordon, I don't really think he's that good. Like, he's always losing to someone that has a notable name. Like, if you have any type of notable name, if you have any type of name and you're relevant in any type of way, you're beating Jared Gordon. I swear to God. Like, for an example, right? Nazarat Haqparast, Paddy Pimblett, Grant Dawson, Charles Oliveira, Jaquam Silva, Diego Ferreira. You know what I mean? He's losing to guys like that. And then he's beating guys like Bill Aljo, Thiago Moises, Mark Madsen. Like, if you're just relevant any type of way, beat Jared Gordon. And it just sucks to say it like that because it just makes no sense, but it makes sense. That's what happens. You know, Jim Miller's 42 years old. If this was Jim Miller from a few years back, I'm picking Jim Miller all day to win this fight. You know what I mean? But this is not that old Jim Miller. He's still durable. He hasn't been finished in 2016. His resume is insane. He's fought Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker, Pettis, Donald Cerrone, Bobby Green, Clay Guida. Like, he's fought everybody. You feel what I'm saying? And he has some good wins in the UFC, but I think his time's coming to an end. But I don't know, though. Like, he's still, what, 3-2 in his last 5? He lost to Chase Hooper his last fight. A thing about Jared Gordon, he lost his last fight, but he was hit by a fucking car. He got hit by a fucking car before the fight. What the fuck are you doing? Where are you? What are you doing for you to get hit by a fucking car before your UFC fight? What are you, just chilling on the fucking speedway? What are you just, like, what are you doing? I don't understand. A lot of people had him up. It was close odds, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he was a favorite to win. But yeah, fucking, I'm still taking Jared Gordon to win this fight by decision. We'll take it to the lightweights. We got Grant Dawson versus Mateusz Rebecki, or Rebecki. Here's the thing about this fight. It's either going to look really entertaining on the side of Rebecki, or it's going to be hella boring for Grant Dawson. Because we already know what Grant Dawson wants to do. He wants to shoot these takedowns. He's trying to sniff balls. And Rebecki is actually one of the more entertaining people on the whole roster, not just at 155. Every single fight he's in is a banger. There's blood. He's bleeding. He's coming forward. He's making it a dogfight. That's what Rebecki's known for. And I feel like Grant Dawson, he's really good at slowing down the pace of guys like that. But the thing is, he's very chinny. His chin is questionable. He got knocked out by Bobby Green with a jab in the first exchange of the fight. I'm talking about like first 30 seconds of the fight, knocked out. I mean, you're supposed to go take care of Bobby Green, but didn't happen. Then you got Rebecki on the other hand. He's doing all right in the UFC, you know what I mean? But his last win was Orobai. And Orobai has crazy control. We just seen him dominate Chris Curtis in the most boring fight you've ever seen in your life with just straight control and takedowns. He almost broke, what, the takedown record in a single fight or something. So that's actually crazy. But Orobai and Rebecki went to war. Probably fight of the year at the time. One of the best fights in UFC history. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Rebecki has this aura of turning these fights into dog fights. And if Grant Dawson starts shooting these sloppy takedowns and shit, he's going to get knocked the fuck out. And my pick for this fight is going to be Rebecki. I think him being able to get up versus Orobai shows me everything I need to see in this fight. If he can get up off of the ground from Grant Dawson, or if he can stuff takedowns, he's going to knock Grant Dawson the fuck out. So give me Rebecki by knockout. Let me just get something off my chest real quick. Let me get something off my fucking body real quick, all right? The referee that was reffing Joel Alvarez's last fight, you know what I'm going to say to you, all right? All you have to do is your job. Stop the fight! Stop the fight! You motherfucker! You sold Joel Alvarez's 100% finish rate. That's on you, ref. Now let's break down this fight. Joel Alvarez trying to put together a 5-fight win streak, and he's facing Yaroslav Amosov. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment sections. But anyways, Yaroslav Amosov. He just subbed Neil Magny with ease in the first round for his UFC debut. He was a Bellator fighter, 29-1. He's coming into the UFC at 32 years old. Usually these Bellator fighters come in a little late in their career, and then they struggle in the UFC. Michael Chandler, Pitbull, Pico lost his debut. Really the only one that's looked pretty good is MVP. On the ground is where things can get a little mixy, because we've seen Arman Tsarukyan, who's a much smaller guy. He's a 155er, and he bullied Joel Alvarez. And obviously Arman's on a whole nother level. He trains with Kazmat, so obviously he's on a whole nother level. But he's a smaller dude, and Joel Alvarez had nothing for him on the ground. And Amosov, that's his bread and butter, you feel what I'm saying? He's trying to get the fight to the ground. But here's the thing about Joel. He subs mostly everybody that tries to take him down. He has 17 subs. out of his 23 wins. And he should have 100% finish rate. If it's not for that fucking ref, feel me? He should have 100% finish rate. But in this fight, I'm definitely going to be taking Joel Alvarez as an underdog. He's faced UFC level competition, and he's got it done. Amasov, subbing Neil Magny is not really a big accomplishment. There's a lot of people that have subbed Neil Magny in the first round. Round 1 sub, 2011, before the UFC, round 1 sub. Sergio, his second fight in the UFC, got subbed. Damian Maia, subbed him. Burns in the first round, subbed him. RDA in the first round, subbed him. He has 7 losses by sub. So I don't know why we're gassing up Amasov like he did something that hasn't been done before. But that is a very impressive win. I'm not saying that it's not a good win. Getting subbed in the first round, that's just like not something I'm going to think he's beating Joel Alvarez for. Joel Alvarez would cook Neil Magny any way he wanted. He'd probably take him down and beat him the fuck up, or he'd keep it on the feet and beat him the fuck up. And he would finish him 100%. So I'm not really that impressed with Amasov yet. So give me Joel Alvarez to find a finish late in the 3rd round. We got a fight that should be pretty fucking straightforward. We got Ateba Gutierrez versus Ozzy Diaz. Ateba Gutierrez is going to knock out Ozzy Diaz in the 1st round. And it's plain and simple. Ateba Gutierrez is what, like a negative 1,000? And he's 3-0 in the UFC. He's 24 years old. First 2 fights, he knocked out his opponents in less than a minute and 30 seconds. His last fight, he faced Andre Puliev, who has pretty good footwork, and he was able to make Ateba Gutierrez miss on a lot of his strikes. He only landed 34 out of 112 strikes, but all 34 of those strikes were significant. He had 2 knocks and was able to make Andre Puliev basically pay on every single shot that he landed. You know what I mean? Andre Puliev did show that he has a pretty good chin and pretty good footwork. Gutierrez cannot cut off the cage to save his life, and I think he's pretty overrated. But in this fight, this is not a guy that's going to make him pay. He's a 35-year-old guy, Ozzy Diaz, with no footwork. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this is just a disaster fight for Ozzy Diaz. Give me Ateba Gutierrez by 1st round destruction. And then we got to kick off the main card. We got Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stephens. This is going to be an absolute slugfest. This is going to be a fight on the feet. I doubt anyone's going to be shooting takedowns. If so, it's probably going to be Bobby Green being a little bit sneaky here and there. But he's not shooting takedowns with the intent to fucking do damage on the ground. This is going to be a fight on the feet. Bobby Green, clean boxing. Amazing head movement. Hands very low, so it is very scary to watch him fight with the hands low. He shoulder rolls. He's doing a lot of dumb shit, a lot of crazy shit, but he makes it work. He's looked very impressive lately. He faced Daniel Zellhuber, knocked him out late in the fight. He was in the fucking Matrix in that fight. And he's 39 years old, and he's doing this to younger fighters. He beat Lance Gibson via decision, made it look pretty easy. His last few losses are to Paddy Pimblett and Ruffy, and those are the highest level of competition that you got in the division right there. So I'm expecting Bobby Green to win this fight. Jeremy, on the other hand, he's faced everyone. He's been in the UFC for a very, very long time. He's faced Charles Oliveira, Max Holloway, Jose Aldo, RDA. The list goes on. You know what I mean? He's faced everyone. He has a whole lot of experience. He's an aggressive striker. He was just doing bare knuckle right before the UFC came back. Fought Mason Jones. Didn't go his way. He kind of got pieced up the whole fight. But Jeremy Stephens, he's going to be there for basically every single round. I don't think he's getting finished in this fight. You can expect this fight to go decision. And Bobby Green might make it look very easy. He's going to be in the Matrix in this fight again. I expect Bobby Green to be in the Matrix. He looked very good leading up to the late 2023. I know he got subbed by Paddy and KO'd by Ruffy, but doing what he's doing, Daniel Zellhuber, all the head movement, hands low, like that's a very good sign at 39 years old. And I expect him to take care of this fight in a very Bobby Greenish fashion. You know what I mean? Let's make it look easy. Let's talk the shit on the feet, make him miss. The only thing is, like, I don't know. Bobby Green is 39 years old, and his chin is very questionable. His chin is very questionable. With the hands low, it's just like almost a setup for Jeremy Stephens to knock his ass out. But it's not happening. The last time Jeremy Stephens won a fight in the UFC was like 2018. He won a fight a few years ago in the PFL. That's nothing to be proud of. 2018 was the last time he won a UFC fight to Josh Emmett. And he definitely ain't subbing Bobby Green. Last time he got a sub was 2007. So this is going to be a mostly striking matchup, and I expect Bobby Green to enter the fucking Matrix once again. when I go back and I look at Bobby Green's resume, it's very impressive what he does to these younger fighters. Grant Dawson coming to him on a crazy win streak, knocks him out, first exchange of the fight, 30 seconds in with a jab. The breaks off of Jim Miller for 3 rounds straight. Jim Miller's just tough as fuck. Entered the Matrix against Daniel Zellhuber. Was walking down Lance Gibson. He's really only losing to the highest level of competition as of late. I know earlier in his career and a few years back, he's had some questionable losses, but as of recently, Bobby Green is looking very good. Very, very good. Give me Bobby Green by decision. A striker versus grappler matchup. We got Jaquan Buckley versus Sean Brady. This is going to be a very good fight. It's very simple. Like, obviously, I'll break it down more in detail, but this is as simple as it gets. Jaquan Buckley keeps the fight on the feet. You piece up Sean Brady. Sean Brady takes the fight down to the ground, and he controls Jaquan Buckley. I don't think he's going to sub Buckley. Buckley's never been subbed. There's really no neck to grab on Buckley either when he gets on the ground. And he's just a little stocky guy, you know what I mean? I feel like it's a little hard to sub guys like that. He did sub Kelvin Gastelum, who kind of has the same build as Buckley, so you never know. Sean Brady, he's one of the best grapplers in the division. His last fight, he fought Morales, but he didn't get to showcase his grappling at all. He was 0 for 1 for the takedowns, and that's how you beat him. If you can deny his takedowns, you'll beat Sean Brady. Bilal was able to stuff all 5 of his takedowns and ended up beating his ass on the feet, standing TKO, and that's not a good look. You getting knocked out by Bilal, you're getting pieced up by Bilal on the feet. God, that is not a good look. But still, though, very good grappling. He beat Jake Matthews, Leon Edwards, Burns, Kelvin Gastelum. He got 6 subs, and yeah, he's just right to the point. He's trying to grapple. He's trying to bring you to the ground, and he has more control than Usman, but he's not as dangerous as on the feet as someone like Usman at all. Sean Brady is not dangerous on the feet, and I think that's where Jaquan Buckley could take advantage in this matchup. I think Jaquan Buckley is, well, we already know he's the more powerful striker. He's going to be the faster striker. He's going to be just a more explosive fighter on the feet. He lost his last fight to Usman. Before that, he was on like a 6-fight win streak. A doctor stoppage, Colby Covington, fucking Wonder Boy, Nursultan Ruziboyev, who is Sean Brady's teammate. You know what I mean? He was beating a lot of these people on a nice 6-fight win streak, and then he just kept calling out Usman, and Usman made him pay. Took him down, beat him up on the ground. But here's the thing about Buckley. He never quit in that fight. He never quit. He started coming forward in the later rounds, started touching up Usman. And I'm just thinking, like, if that's Brady, I don't know if Brady's even surviving half of the shots that Usman can take. The first round's going to dictate everything in this fight, because Buckley's going to come forward. We've already seen a lot of his press conferences, his interviews. He wants to go knock out Sean Brady early in the fight. And I think that's what he's going to try to do. He's going to try to come forward early and put some pressure on Sean Brady. The thing is, if Sean Brady can get under one of these explosive attempts and take Jaquan Buckley down, that's a problem, because he was on his back for a long time against Usman. That's really what it comes down to. Can Jaquan Buckley stay on his feet? And if not, can Sean Brady hold him down for long enough and do enough damage? Because there's one fight where he landed 221 total strikes, and only 57 of them were significant. At least Usman was busting up Buckley on the ground and pound, made him bleed. Brady better hurt Buckley if he gets him down, because Buckley has proven that he can get up in the later rounds, and he will still keep coming forward. He has that dog in him. You feel what I'm saying? I'm going Buckley. I have to go Buckley on the feet. It's a big mismatch, and he's been working with Usman. He's been putting the work in with Usman the whole entire training camp, and that's good to see. That's good to see for a young fighter. You lost to Usman, but I still want to learn everything that you have to offer me. I want to get better. Even though you beat me, I want to work with you. So this next guy I face, I can beat him. That shows a lot. All respect to Sean Brady going against Morales, but you couldn't even get anything going. Your striking is not there. And this is a matchup where it favors both people, because Sean Brady, he does struggle against like these lengthier guys, you feel what I'm saying? And so does Buckley. Buckley struggles against these lengthier guys. Got knocked out by Holland in his UFC debut. Nasruddin Imavov was walking him down and shit. You feel what I'm saying? So this is a matchup that favors both of them. But who does it favor more? Who does it favor more? I think it favors Buckley a lot more. You can finally stand on the feet with someone that is not as dangerous at all. You can stand on the feet with him. The only thing you have to do is get up and deny these takedowns, and you will win this fight. Buckley, give me Buckley to win via first round knockout. Fuck it. A heavyweight matchup. Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Acosta. This is going to be a pretty good fight. Waldo's on a 3-fight win streak. He keeps his hands very low, but he's good at moving his head and making people miss with big shots. He can avoid the biggest shots in a combination. That's what makes Waldo's style work when it comes to him having his hands kind of low. He's on a 3-fight KO win streak. He KO'd Derek Lewis with a fucking jab. Literally a jab, and then just kind of walked up on him like this, like a little puppy. Like, oh, puppy, ground and pound, ground and pound.
Yeah. Right? He's a step behind. Oh. That's crazy. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, big elbows.
KO'd Derek Lewis, Ante D'Elia, and Shamil Gaziev. And Shamil Gaziev, he just proven to us last card that he is a tough motherfucker. Because Brando Perisic, that guy's like 6'8". And he was hitting Shamil Gaziev with fucking bombs. Bombs. Bombs.
Oh, landed that right hand. Another one for Perisic. He's going off. Snaps the head back.
It makes Waldo look really good because Waldo got him out of there in the first round with a nice baseball bat overhand clubbing right.
It's ready and low.
Waldo does hold sneaky power. He was a baseball player, and he's an athlete, you know what I mean? Robelis Despaino's knocking everybody out in the first round. They give him Waldo. Waldo was a big underdog, and what does Waldo do? Cut the cage off, takes him down, avoids all the big shots, and wins the easy decision. Breaks Robelis Despain's hype and basically his momentum. He lost to Austin Lane right after that. The Sergey Popovich fight. Sergey landed 61 total, and Waldo landed 45 total. It was a very low striking matchup. He didn't shoot on Sergey. He shot on Robelis Despain. I'm pretty sure he's going to shoot on Volkov. I feel like if he would have mixed in the grappling a little more, he definitely would have had a little more success in that fight. But on to Volkov. Lengthy, the tallest guy in the fucking roster. Teep kicks up the middle. Jabs are his bread and butter. He beat Sergey. He made him look not scary. Beat him up. Yeah, beat him up. Break his neck, beat him up. But yeah, his last fight, he beat Jolton Almeida, who is not UFC level at all. He got the grappling, you know what I mean? He still took down Volkov 7 fucking times, but he landed 9 significant strikes. You almost lost to someone that landed 9 significant strikes. That's all I had receipts for me to pick Waldo. I feel like Waldo's the much faster man in this fight. Way cleaner on the feet. Yeah, and at range, he might be in a little trouble. Teep kicks up the middle and shit. But in the pocket, if he can get Volkov backed up to the cage, and even when Waldo's backed up to the cage, he has nice counter shots. He can pull and go right over the top with clubbing rights and shit, and he doesn't get hit too often with big shots. I'm taking Waldo to win this fight. I do respect Volkov a lot, though. I really do. He was robbed against Cyril Gane. I think he won that fight. Straight robbed. He landed 105 total strikes, and Gane landed 48. Like, what are the refs smoking? And Gane did take down Volkov 2 times. And who remembers when Blades back in 2020 took down Volkov 14 times? So I feel like there's a lot of paths here that Waldo can take and that he's taken before. Robelis Despain took the grappling path, won that. And then he's knocking people out, so we know he can knock people out. So there's a lot of ways he can win this fight. Volkov, on the other hand, there's really only one way he can win the fight is via decision. Waldo's never been subbed and Waldo's never been KO'd, and I don't think Volkov's going to do either of those. So Volkov needs to be clean, stay sharp the whole fight, and just outstrike Waldo. And I'm not betting on that. Waldo has more ways to win. Give me Waldo to win this fight by decision, though. Joshua Van versus Taishura Taira. I'm going to just call him Taira. This is one of the youngest title fights of all time. Joshua Van 16-2. He has amazing boxing combinations. He's an amazing counter striker. He has pretty decent head movement. He's pretty small for the division compared to Taira. A lot of people are getting this illusion that Joshua Van doesn't have any takedown defense. Let me tell you guys this right now. His first fight against Kevin Borjas, 0 for 3. Kevin Borjas went on taking Joshua Van down. That's Zumagov, whatever the fuck his name is, 1 for 5 on takedowns against Joshua Van. Cody Durden, 2 for 8. Edgar Chairez, 0 for 2. Bruno Silva, 1 for 6. That Ray guy, the grappler who was undefeated, 4 for 21. Charles Johnson, 0 for 2. Let's stop the bullshit. Let's stop the bullshit saying Joshua Van doesn't have takedown defense. He has pretty good takedown defense, and he can get up from the floor. He's a smaller guy, I understand that. And Tyra might be able to take advantage of that, but Tyra doesn't have any stand-up. Yeah, he's pretty decent on the feet and stuff. He has some power, but 18-1. He lost to Royval. He went 6 for 15 on the takedowns. He only landed 42 significant strikes. Van has multiple fights in the UFC where he lands well over 150 significant strikes. Tyra, though, he's really good. He's really good. I won't lie. His last fight, he looked the best he's ever looked. Became the first person ever to finish Brandon Moreno, so that's pretty good. But, yeah, and I just feel like Joshua Van, this is his time. He won the belt off of kind of a fluky way. Well, not really. He caught the kick, threw him down, broke the arm. You're the rightful champion, but I feel like that doesn't really happen too often. So I feel like in a rematch, Pantoja wins, and Pantoja definitely beats Tyra too. Keeping the belt warm for my boy Pantoja, you know what I mean? I respect Joshua Van a lot, and I think he wins his fight by decision. I think Tyra's tough, and he showed an insane chin against Brandon Royval. I just counted it up. Since Van has been in the UFC, these guys have tried to shoot 47 takedowns on him. And together, everyone, Charles Johnson, Bruno, Borjas, Edgar, Ray, everyone, Cody Durden, they've landed 8. Out of 47 takedowns, they've landed 8. And 4 of them came from one guy. All this bullshit that people are saying that Joshua Van doesn't have takedown defense, that's the main aspect of this fight. It comes to, can he get up from the ground and can he stop these takedowns? I think Van wins his fight. Pieces up Tyra on the feet, gets the volume going, denies the takedowns, and pieces Tyra up to a decision. I think Tyra's very tough, and I don't think he's going to get finished. Joshua Van to defend his title. We got Khamzat Chimaev defending his title for the first time against Sean Strickland. Khamzat Chimaev just won his title against Duplessis in one of the most dominant title fucking fights we've ever seen, but in a boring way. The craziest part is about that fight is that he landed 529 total strikes. 37 of them meant something. There's a lot of pitter-pat on the fucking ground and shit. I'm not saying Chimaev's a boring fighter, because most of his fights in UFC have been pretty entertaining. 15-0, 9-0 UFC record. His hardest fight was Gilbert Burns. And why was that? Because he was fighting emotional. Gilbert Burns was making Chimaev fight very emotional. He came out running, screaming, you feel what I'm saying? And that's when he had his toughest matchup. And it's looking like Sean Strickland and Chimaev are going back and forth in the press conference. They don't fuck with each other. This is bad blood. This is going to be an insane matchup. And Sean Strickland, on the other hand, 30 wins, 7 losses. Just came off a KO win to Fluffy Hernandez. Bodied him. Put a knee right up the middle to his gut and then started piecing him up on the fence. Seen that coming. Sean was free all day. He beat Paulo Costa. He beat Amavov, he beat Abus, he beat Izzy, he lost to Dracus Duplessis 2 times, who Chimaev just dominated, but styles make matchups. And I think he also beat Brandon Allen back in the day. He has like this weird way of KOing these grapplers. You know what I mean? He KOs these grapplers, and Sean Strickland's a dog. This is the thing about Sean Strickland. He doesn't accept being on his back. This is a way closer fight than most people expect. I feel like in the first round, he's getting dominated. He's going to get taken down. Chimaev, he averages on Holland. It took him 3 seconds to get Holland down. Dracus Duplessis, 8 seconds to get him down. Robert Whittaker, 18 seconds to get him down. Usman, 27 seconds to get him down. And Burns, 56 seconds to get him down. So there's no doubt in my mind that Chimaev is going to shoot within the first minute of the fight. And he's going to get Sean down. It's just, is he going to keep him there? I feel like Chimaev is too explosive, too strong when it comes to the first round. But as the fight starts going on, Sean's going to make him work a lot more. Sean's going to start getting up on the cage, all walking back up to his feet. Oh my God, I don't know what type of fight this is going to be. I just know I'm going to watch this fight and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm not betting on this fight. I really don't have a personal preference on who I think is going to win this fight. Actually, I think Chimaev's going to win the fight. Don't be surprised if Sean Strickland fucking makes it a dog fight, for real. But I think I got Chimaev. I still trust Chimaev, even though Sean Strickland is a dog, and he's like the perfect guy to beat Chimaev. Someone that can get up, someone that's going to throw, and someone that's defensively sound. But give me Chimaev to defend his belt